Hey, everybody, my name is John DePietro, and it is a pleasure to speak with you today. And you know what? As we round out 2020, one of the main topics that has come into so many conversations is the news. Where do you get the news? Is the news slanted? Does the news represent what you want to hear? Does the news totally be opposite of what you want to hear? And what we decided to do was sit down with a young man who is involved in the news every day and has been involved in the news for years and years. And let me bring in Mark Henderson, who is the founder of I can't really say brand new news source in Worcester, but a reliable and fast growing news source in Worcester called the 016. Mark, welcome to your own zip code.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time today, and I appreciate you calling me young man.
Young man, okay. So let's be perfectly clear. This has been a tumultuous year as far as politics is concerned, as far as COVID is concerned, and the news has been in the news. Yes. And, that whole line about fake news and all the other stuff about news not really representing the facts. Tell us a little bit about what the 016 is, and tell us why the term fake news or slanted news really isn't relevant, or is it relevant?
Relevant.
It doesn't apply, put it this way.
It doesn't apply, yes.
It doesn't apply to you guys. So number one, well, before you go into what the 016 is, give us a little bit of a 30-second background on you and how long you've been around the Worcester area, and really what your background is in the news business.
Yeah, I was born in Worcester, raised and live in Holden. And I realized this the other day. I'm approaching 37 years in the news business, which is quite a long time. And it just seemed to me that what Worcester and many other communities lack now is one place to get everything that you need to know to live, work, and play in and around Worcester. So in the best sense, in the best, tradition of entrepreneurship, we went out and built one. Mm-hmm. So the 016 is a place where you can find out everything from local news to the latest bars and the latest restaurants and who's got what specials, and local businesses can get their word out. And so that's basically what the 016 is everything you need to know to live, work, and play in and around Worcester.
Okay, and it's important to point out that I have a relationship with you guys, that I do some marketing for you, but it's important also to point out that this is not a publication that you pick up at your local newsstand, and there's nobody on the street corner selling it for 25 cents. How is it delivered to the user, and what is the cost factor involved?
Well, the cost factor is we do not charge. We've never charged, and we won't charge. Ours is a place where it's completely free, and we start with what we call our delivery in the morning. At the 016, we deliver too. We deliver with an email, and that's kind of the signal that everything that is important in the last 24 hours has been published, whether that's a message from an advertiser about the latest special or all the news. And so it basically kicks off with that email, and then we publish again, and probably until about midnight.
Okay, so you do bring the news to the people of Worcester. Is it Worcester only, or do we go to surrounding towns, or
no,
what is the geographic?
Well, we take a look at, we focus on Worcester, and then we do share some news about the towns in central Massachusetts, and actually some national news, but never national politics. We've stayed away from that for the points that you brought out about, can you trust it, and is it slanted? We've eliminated that from our platform, simply because we want people to engage in the news, and that is turned out to be a big turn. The national political news has turned out to be a big turnoff for many news companies that run it, or run a lot of it.
Interesting. So I said you're relatively the new guy, and when you look at the city of Worcester, there are some, how do I say this? There are some long-running, some entrenched news outlets that people have called their number one news source for years and years, between the newspaper and radio stations, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
How are you doing in relation to growth, and where do you stand as far as audience? Because I saw somewhere that you tout yourself as Worcester's largest daily audience.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's a lot. When we say the largest daily audience in Worcester, which we are, we're happy to be able to say that after a year and a half. One of the things is that there's publicly available data about how many people have registered or subscribed to any particular service, and a lot of that information is public. So to the extent that there's public information about that, we compared our growth to other providers, other news providers in the city, and that led us to, hey, wait a minute, we're now the biggest. So we're very, very proud of that, and we continue to grow. We're up, it's up anywhere depending on what metric. We're up from 15% to 100% up year over, and we continue to grow every day, and that's very satisfying to us.
Mm-hmm. So from growth, I mean, a lot of people hide real numbers by saying percentages. Okay. And I'm not saying you're doing that. However, what is the barometer? I've heard this term page views, monthly page views. Are you reaching 1,000 people a month? Are you reaching 10,000 people a month? How many page views?
No, I mean, our daily audience, the ones that we know of, the ones that have shared information with us, that daily audience is 20,000, a little over 20,000 as of a couple of days ago, which was a goal for us to hit that. That's knowable audience. We know where they live. These people have shared information. They're from Worcester or Holden or Shrewsbury, that sort of stuff. But then page views, we got into, page views have been growing kind of not exponentially, but we've doubled them in the past year. So we're learning more about what type of news people want. And we're going out and making sure that we have that news that satisfies that need. So the audience has grown only about 15%, but the page views have doubled. That's a sign to us that we're really becoming a daily habit in the city.
So they're spending more time.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
And I heard a good benchmark for a publication, or I should say a digital publication like you folks, to shoot for in the size of Worcester is about 1 million page views a month. Is that an attainable figure? Or is that something that is just a pipe dream in the sky?
Yeah, no, well, for a long time while we were building, it was aspirational, but now we've cleared that hurdle 3 of the past 4 months. And depending on what happens, this is the last day of the year. Depending on what happens today, we'll either set an all-time record or will be the second highest month in history. So we continue to grow, and it's all thanks to the people of Worcester and the people that were partnered with us, our advertisers, our readers, our media partners. It's really been a total team effort to get this to where we're representing the city now, and we're serving the city very well. And I'm enormously grateful for that.
And proud as well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So if people want to read the publication, you had said to people, you get an email in the morning. How do you subscribe to that email? How do you?
Well, if you register for our site, and that's basically, it looks like a social network. You just go and register on the social network, then you'll be included on our daily email. You can opt out of that for sure if you want, but most people like the email, the fact that we deliver it right to your inbox in the morning, between 6 and 7 in the morning. Most days it's in your inbox 7 days a week. And it has the rundown of all the news, Worcester, and from local businesses too, that choose to advertise with us, that we're helping get their message out.
If they don't want to subscribe because they get too many emails in the morning and would get lost there, can they go to the 016 during the day and just
absolutely
tune in, if you will?
They go to the016.com, the016.com, and right there, as soon as you come in, you're going to see our list of highlights, the stories that have risen kind of to the top, that we think are kind of the most important to create kind of a well-rounded representation of the news. So we have some shopping stories and the latest TV stories, all the latest obituaries, as well as a dining out section that solves what we increasingly heard was a big problem for the people of the city of Worcester.
Great. So we want to thank you so much. And I know you've got a busy day, and it's always nice to talk to media people, especially new ones. I mean, I've been around this media biz. I hate to say it, it's almost 50 years, you know, going
Yeah,
back to the old WNEB, which used to be on Main Street, right
yeah.
above where McDonald's was, and across
Oh,
from
yeah.
where Burger King was, and across from where Friendly's was. And then back at, you know, to Beverly Road with Channel 27. And those places have all, you know, moved on to serving different audiences. But it's
Yeah,
always nice to welcome a new media member into the
yeah.
Worcester community. So
And it,
we
so
will,
thank you for having us too. And I loved your background.
great, we will, yeah, you're exactly. In fact, there's Ed Augustus looking out
There.
City Hall window
Hello, Mr. Manager.
and saying hello. So with that being said, we will put down below where people can subscribe and just go to those websites. And we want to thank Mark Henderson from the 016 for being with us today. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Thank you.